based on the struggles we've faced, and I know we are no longer where we used to be. So will you say that relocation is worth it?
Now, honestly, I will say affirmatively yes, that relocation is worth it.
Oh, really? Nice. Okay.
There is no missing words about that.
Okay, so what's the reason to your response?
Yes.
To your positive response?
Thank you so much. Nobody ever said it's gonna be easy. Yeah, nobody said it's gonna be a smooth sail, 100%. No, but I heard you mention it's over 2 years. I think it's going to 3 years now.
Yeah.
Far away from 3 years. And looking back, I have so many things I can hold to count as blessings. Economically, morally, physically, spiritually, environmentally.
Oh, nice.
In all aspects of life. The journey has impacted how I see life. That is one. It has also been able to draw me closer to my family. I'm now a family-oriented person. Not that I don't used to be family-oriented in Nigeria, but I know what I mean.
Yeah.
And you can also attest to that. And it has also been able to expose me to different culture, different orientation, different people. And it's a good experience. So
yeah, that first stage of struggles is more like you must test the waters. It's a learning experience. It's a learning process. Yeah. So even now we are still learning because you are living with Canada is a multicultural country.
Yeah, yes.
So it's very diversified across different people from different nationalities. And it's so nice that even our Canadian driver's license, you can use it anywhere to drive.
I use it in the US and it's just the same.
Yeah.
So those are the gains. I've also been able to also improve in my communication with my children. We discuss a lot. I bond with them.
Okay.
I have spent so much time with family.
Oh, nice. So to that, what effort did you put in to ensure that the relocation was worth it?
Yeah. Like I said before, it's not one cap fits all.
No.
I think you've heard of experience about people that came in after a certain time they couldn't cope and they had to go back.
Yeah.
So, what of all that we were able to stay and stay strong, it was a result of
a lot of
obvious
effort.
effort.
Yeah.
So, for what I did first was to convince myself that I'm here for good.
Yeah. Your mindset, that mind shift, that mindset is very, very important. Yeah.
So I have to convince myself that I'm here for good. And I started to concentrate more
on where you are.
Where I am than trying to do a lot of things back home. And also, trying to keep a few persons and the contact I've built in the UK. Secondly, I put in the effort of trying to improve in my skills, trying to get certifications, trying to understand what the environment wants from me and what I have to put in. I did a whole lot of certifications, trying to upgrade my resume. I also have to learn how to live in environments.
Yeah, and those certifications are some of the requirements in order to meet up to that professional level you are looking at. Right?
Then also, I also put in effort to start enjoying their food. Yeah. The mashed potato, the different kind of spinach that we have, the stick
chicken noodle soup.
Yeah,
I think their meals are same like the UK.
Yes,
the only difference is because it's very diverse, multicultural.
Yeah.
You tend to have lots of Asians, lots of Chinese.
Chinese and Asian are doing well on food here.
Even the Cameroonians.
The Cameroonians, yeah, they try. Yes. They almost. So those are efforts I put in.
Okay.
Trying to make Canada watch the stay and
Thank
for
you.
me to also enjoy
Yeah,
my
thank you
stay
so
here.
much for sharing that. So, if you are to reverse the ants of time with different culture, so it's a learning. It's a learning experience. We learn each day.
Yeah,
Even currently, it's also a learning experience. So, thank you for that response. So, I would ask, what has been your gain since you relocated?
yeah. There is no gain without pain.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I think initially I had a little struggle. I'm trying to settle in from the driving to trying to revamp my resume, getting to know how to answer questions in interviews, and then aligning my skill set to job description.
yeah,
A whole lot of struggle.
that's true.
Yeah,
Coupled with the Canadian experience.
I had experience and with weather difference.
Yeah. So for people that don't really know what the Canada experience is, in Canada, if you want to work in an organization, they require you to already have a basic knowledge about an official setting, or you must have worked or volunteered in any place. So there you understand their culture, their working culture, have a bit of experience. So most immigrants, when they come in, even when they've not gotten a job, they could get a job like they call it a survivor job, mainly working, doing a job that pays the minimum wage. Some could go into volunteering just to gain that Canadian experience. They love to see it on your resume that you've worked in Canada. But some people are also very fortunate that they are able to get a job without any of those hassles
Yeah,
of Canadian experience. Yeah.
it's not one car fits all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But we're looking at what we call the general
No.
norm or perception.
Yeah.
So back to your question about my game.
Hmm.
So part of my game so far, I've been able to align my culture, my experience,
Okay.
and with the Canadian system.
Hmm.
I can fit into any Canadian work environment as I speak right now
Yeah.
as a professional. And also my interaction initially was when I came in. I struggle a lot to hear them on the phone,
Yeah.
especially when I engage maybe NMAX on the phone,
Okay. Some
CROA,
of others, yeah,
yeah. But now
service providers.
service providers. But now it's a good flow.
Yeah.
I talk well. I'm just trying to be natural here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I engage with colleagues at work, I try to speak phonetically.
Yeah.
And I try to also lighten up. It's also
I
part of
think,
upgrade.
yeah, I think that's also part of the Canadian experience. We want to ensure, can you hear us?
Yeah, and
Can
when you
we hear
speak, can we hear
you?
you? Yeah,
Yeah. Is the communication flow good?
exactly.
So those are part of the things
Yes,
immigrants tend to acclimatize themselves with to
yes,
ensure they fit into this
yes.
society.
Effective communication is when you say something, the recipient will be able to understand what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Until there is understanding, there is no communication.
At all.
So yeah, those are the stuff I've been able to learn. Then I've also been able to improve my driving skill.
Yeah.
When I came in from Nigeria, I
From the
was I
UK.
was from the UK. Coming down, I was like, I can drive.
You were using the Nigerian
Yeah,
style.
I can drive. I never knew what it called signs. Yeah,
Yeah.
a whole lot of them. So I've been able to train myself to that level. I have a class 4 driver's license as we speak now.
Oh, nice.
And then, so I've been able to, that's also a game. I can drive in any part of the world as we speak right now.
Exactly.
The last time I was in the US,
You want to relocate or not?
honestly, I will.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I
Okay.
am not saying that there is nothing I'm not missing Nigeria for.
Okay.
Yeah, I miss Nigeria for a whole lot of things. But at the time in my life, I was asking myself, what do you really want?
Yeah.
Sometimes,
That question is very
yeah,
important when you want to travel.
there's
You need to know your why. If you don't know your why, then you are living someone else's life, right?
there's this I won't call it misconception, but it has been. It's some people think that the reason why most people japa is 100% financial. They want to get more money. They
Yeah.
want to improve in their financial capacity.
I
I,
think
I
I
don't think
think
that is a good
no, but
perception.
I think that's reason for buying or relocation is personalized. Your reason
May not
to
be.
another
Oh, yeah,
person's reason may not be the same.
you're very
So
correct.
it's based on individual
Yeah,
circumstances.
to me, I didn't japa for financial purpose. No,
Yeah.
that is the truth. I just wanted to have kind of environment.
More seen
Yeah,
environment for
to have,
yourself, the
and
children,
also I would say
change.
80% for the children.
Okay.
I knew the kind of work I was doing back home, so I was like, can these children, when they grow up, when they maybe out of university, can they fit into what I'm doing?
Okay. But to that your question, a lot of people, even us, when we wanted to move, said we are doing it for the children, we are doing it for the children. With your years away, with 3 years plus of relocation, do you still have that mindset that you did it for your children or you did it for yourself? Has there been a mind shift to that
Yes.
reason?
Yeah, initially I have the feel that it is 100% because of the children. But recently, I'm also part of the process. And I've also, there's no gain saying it, that I've also gained a whole lot from the process. Yeah, I look, I'm more healthier. I have been able to be, I've been exposed to a whole lot of health check.
Does that mean you can't do a health check in Nigeria?
No, I know what I mean. Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
because you didn't pay a dime.
I don't pay money here to do any kind of health check, my kidney, my liver, all and all.
It's
Free.
a
I'm okay.
regular yearly
Yeah.
checks. Yeah.
Then I've also been able to be health conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I value life. I
Yeah.
respect people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been a complete change
Self
in your
control.
mindset.
No more driving rage. In Nigeria, I have problem with driving road rage. Road rage.
Everybody in Nigeria is angry now.
You wind down, you do waka, you do your papa, your mama, and stuff like that. No, that's the truth. But
I
here,
think everybody is angry.
I've learned to
The
drive.
heat is too much.
I've learned to drive here respectfully,
Because if you don't, you will get
with
tickets now.
caution.
And your driving points will drop.
Yeah.
And there's a stage it drops to. You will not be allowed to drive
No.
anymore.
Yeah. So a whole lot. I have to train myself, learn and unlearn and relearn, and then trying to be a better version of myself.
Okay.
So for what you
So,
said, it's not 100% for the children right now.
yeah,
Like I'm here.
do you know why? I know a lot of us had that mindset. I'm just doing it for my children. But with the way children are going now, while we parents do our best to ensure we train them in the godly way, it's important we also live for ourselves.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the Western culture, it's different from our African culture.
Yeah.
The Westerns don't hold their parents anything. We Nigerians, we live communal life.
Yeah.
We believe in taking responsibility and caring for our parents. So if you are training your children here as a Nigerian, ensure you instill the African culture in them and also plan for yourself. I don't believe in parents being like relying solely on their children when they advance, but it all depends on their circumstances.
Yeah.
So while we say I'm doing it for my children, still do it for yourself. Plan for your retirement. That is why there is life insurance.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it also relieve you of a lot of burden. Yeah. Back home, um, I we struggle not just for ourselves, but to leave a legacy. Let us leave an estate for our beneficiary, to our children, to the next of kin. Here, everybody is I will not say is working for themselves, but the pressure is reduced.
Yeah.
That's the truth. It's reduced on like what
But
was.
in Nigeria, having that estate, like you want to leave something for your children, is also a form of you investing for your future after retirement.
Yeah.
Because here you see them, yes, they don't have anything major investment after retirement because the government is there to care for them and move them over to the elderly care home where they
Yeah.
are being cared for.
Yeah.
It is different in Nigeria. So in Nigeria, any person that has tend to plan very well. Are you getting
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. So from all you've said, I know Western culture says it's important to prioritize work-life balance. And with the way the Western culture is, it is fast paced.
Very, very.
The weekend flies so
Yeah.
fast. The time flies so fast. Nobody gives you a dime. Anytime you work, you'll be earned. How are you able to manage your family and balance things after relocation?
Yeah. I have this I grew up understanding that I have to stay out, work hard. So as long as I'm bringing money home, it doesn't matter how much time I spend being outside. So back home, I work. After work in the evening, I engage in other discussion with persons trying to build my contacts.
Yeah.
So when I'm coming back, I will enter the mall. I will get food and stuff, different kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
ice cream, shawarma,
Just
just
everything
everything to
available.
make sure I come back home in a big way
Yeah.
and everybody will have fun.
Yeah.
I make sure there's inverter or generator, there's fuel, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe there's no light and all that. But
But you still do that here,
yeah,
no?
I do that here, but I have been able to have a shift in a way. I've
Okay.
come to understand that it is not all about trying to provide and being absent, but try to be physically present.
Exactly.
The children go for swimming, they have swimming classes, they have their skating classes, they have the climbing classes here, they have their gymnastics,
You have
a whole lot
things.
of activities.
And parents are
Yeah,
required to
obligated
partake
to
of
to
it,
to, to be
to be
present.
involved. Yeah.
They have their open days at school.
Mm-hmm.
You
We
have to
also
you
have
have
that in
to
Nigeria.
yeah you have to be there. I cannot remember in Nigeria. I can count a few times
Yeah.
yeah
You weren't always available. Yeah.
available. But here, irrespective of my work schedule, so I'm trying to make you understand that the Western exposure have helped me to strike a balance in trying to provide for my home as a husband and a father, and to also see the need to be physically present so that I will not be an absent father. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is one thing I said that I've been able to balance being in Canada. That is why. So it's not about work. I take times off. Trying to when I'm at work and I have 15 minutes break. I don't use it all. My 1 hour meal break. I make sure I put up a video call to speak with my kids, with my wife, to make sure everybody's good, to keep in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And while the Western culture is fast paced, there's something I like. They value families.
yeah,
So we have the family day. When it's end of work day, you are free to go. Even when your children have school activities, you are free to go and you'll be paid for that time.
yeah,
You during they have hours allocated to care for your family member that you'll be paid for, apart from your own hours allocated to you for your casual illness or something. So the government's made it possible for families to incorporate time for families.
yes,
It can be fast paced, but if you don't plan so well, you'll be driven or you'll be carried away because they are not stopping you. You can work for as long as you want, and at the same time, if you don't want to work and you want to how spend time with your family, you are free. So it all depends on how you want it.
Yeah, and they also keep close mark. They watch, especially from school. The school, the teacher, the home teachers, they know how close parents are to their children.
Yeah, because when they keep inviting
And you're not
parents and
coming,
you know they keep
yeah, they
records.
can involve
That means
a social worker.
yeah, that means the child is lacking. There are some things lacking at home. You are
Exactly.
not a present parent, so you are not fit.
It's a red
So
flag.
you must go.
Yeah,
You must attend.
so that is, to your question, those are the adjustments I've been able to make, trying to make sure I've become a jack of all trade. Trying to,
Master of
yeah,
all, right?
trying to be here and there at the same time, give little of myself here, little of myself there, so much of myself here, so much of myself there, to make sure I'm able to have a balanced lifestyle while
Yeah.
also providing. And the environment has also made it easier for me.
Okay.
Sincerely speaking, I cannot remember since I left Nigeria where I come home for any reason and there is no light, so to speak,
Yeah.
or we're cooking and run out of gas,
Mm-hmm.
or I went
Yeah.
to the filling station and there is queue, there is no fuel
Mm-hmm.
for my car and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the pressures and houses of basic life necessities have been
I've
taken off,
reduced.
they have
Yeah.
reduced.
You're
So it's
correct.
just for you to be able to do the much you can, pay your bills,
Yeah.
and have a very good time for your family.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And the truth is, we appreciate your efforts.
yeah.
You're caring for the home. You've always showed that the responsibilities without complaining. And we just want to tell you that thank you so much. I and the children, the boys, and your princess
Oh,
appreciate the effort.
oh, I'm blushing right now.
Oh, because you had the princess.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thank you
much.
for
I
that.
appreciate